Yeah. Shalom. Um, I have it recording on my iPad and my phone. So iPad will be for YouTube, and then my phone will be for Instagram. Um, if it's not loud enough for Instagram, then just check on YouTube, and you can see the video there if you want to hear it more clearly. Um, but yeah, because this the my mic's connected to my iPad, but not to my phone. I just thought I'd let you know. Yeah, because I thought it's both a YouTube thing, but it's also kind of an Instagram thing. So yeah, that's why. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I just got a couple of stories to tell. This is cool. I'm just gonna read it. Um, yeah, yeah, and there was also like a general message pertaining to the ministry and stuff like that. And it's a bit of encouragement towards the end. So um, this is cool. I just read it from my notes. Yeah. So, story to tell. Um, basically, uh, a swan tried to kill me when I was 3 years old. Yeah. Um, it was bigger than me, and it didn't care. It began to chase after me, and I ran as fast as I could, as fast as I could. Um, and I remember, and I knew, and I felt it. It was catching up to me. It was catching up to me because like I was running this way, and the swan was chasing after me, right? But I couldn't see the swan because I was running this way. But I just sensed, I felt it, like the swan is catching up with me. So I saw, yeah, basically, yeah, that's what that means. Um, and so a man saw me uh, being chased after by a big bad swan, and he chased the swan away. And so that was a repressed memory, a traumatic experience for me when I was 3 years of age, give or take. Um, I could have been younger, but I think three was around the right. That was maybe how old I was. So, um, and from that point, I didn't find it difficult to see all of the all of the ugly qualities of the swan. Um, but while my classmates, obviously not growing up with that experience, they liked the swan and they all talked about the swan and said nice things about the swan. Things I didn't quite understand. I was like, what? So I didn't feel like I fit in with the rest of my classmates back then because I got chased by a swan and I wanted to be dead. Um, so I had a phobia of swans most of my life. Um, Never understood why anyone liked the swans, and I also did not know that I had a phobia. And I did not remember the incident. It was told to me, I think, once by my dad, and I didn't really want to remember it. I was like, oh, I had no idea what he was talking about. But then, if there was like an option within my soul to try to like remember it, I didn't want to do that. That's probably why I couldn't remember it. Um, but it's something that the Lord's helped me to overcome, um, to bring that to my remembrance and to heal from it. This is why I'm making this video. One of the reasons. Um, so I've tried to move past this and to recover, and I thank God because there has been progress. I still don't like swans, but I'm glad to say that I'm not afraid of them because God is with me. So I'm glad to say that I can stand firm, steadfast in faith. Um, when a swan tries to sabotage a video I was making, when it walked up to me, wasn't planning on stopping. I had no choice, and at least I'd felt but to move out the way. This happened the other day, but I kept preaching though. So I felt that I'd compromised the position that I was given because the spot that I was standing was meant for people. So yeah. Woo. Um, yeah. So the swan was the only bird that I was afraid to chase away. It's only the swan. I'm not afraid to chase away any other birds. I don't do that, but like I'm not afraid of the other birds. And also I like birds. They're cool. You know what I'm saying? Um, but now I remember um, the guy that chased away the swan when I was 3 years old. He wasn't afraid. It's usually when someone is in jeopardy, that's when we're most likely to listen and to act in courage and in love. Um, with that said, I'm deciding to do ministry a bit differently, and to just remind myself daily, not just on Sundays, but daily, that people die every day and hell is real. And so, therefore, I have to do something to remind myself of daily. And I will chase away as many swans as I can. Figure of speech, though. Um, chase away as many swans. I'm saying. So yeah. So here's some encouragement, and I'm just gonna say it. Um, it was there was a group chat. Someone sent a photo to a group chat, and I just read it, and I thought it was kind of funny, so I just wanted to share it. It's also encouraging. Right? So it says, "I want to be um, so full of Christ that if a mosquito bites me, it flies away singing, 'There's power in the blood.'" So that's the joke. All right. So it's quite. So, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, I'm just gonna focus on doing outreach, and then I suppose the sermons and stuff will just come, and other parts of the ministry. Um, because I was trying to like be a pastor. I was learning to be a pastor. Um, and I find that the best way to do it is just to focus on like just being an evangelist, and then the sermons will just come. They'll be easier. Because I didn't know how to do sermons, so that's just how I learned it, was to go all out with it, and then I'll go all out with the preaching on the Sunday. But I think I've come to the conclusion today that the best thing to do is just to focus on outreach, on evangelism, fulfilling the Great Commission, and then sermons will come. Sermons will be there. And I learned that it doesn't have to be that tough. It doesn't have to be that difficult to do sermons. Just it's just about having a balance, and it's just like doing quiet times, but it's just a bit more thorough. That's it. Um, yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. Also, I'm doing some studies on the Book of Luke, so I might do a sermon on that at some point. Um, I don't. I'll see what happens. Also, this is cool. I just wanted to. There's another story. If it's a story, I don't know. There's something in my notebook. Um, 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 and so this is just a short story about Southwestern trains. Um, I just wrote down that it is a blessing to travel on the Southwest train into London. I really enjoyed sitting on the train taking notes, and that was the main bit. Um, and then I said most people complain because they're ungrateful to God, and um, and this is also just something that I wrote down because well, I've lived here my whole life, most of my life, and that was kind of the culture that I was in, and that's what I've been set free from um, today. Just how I see like going on the Southwest train. The Lord's helped me to see clearly, gave me eyes to see. Um, so yeah, and it's just yeah. So I just wrote. Most people complain because they are ungrateful to God. So when someone complains about the preacher, it is because they are unthankful to God. Also, and then I put Romans chapter 1, verse 18 to 21 shows that people are unthankful even with the luxuries of travel on the Southwestern Railways that's been given to us of God. And even the fact that the UK is a first world country, this country does quite well economically, and there's um, um, there's shiny buildings as well. There's historical buildings as well with wonderfully paved streets. So yeah, this is I didn't see it that way before. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously I saw the shiny buildings, right? But I didn't even know that a lot about the city. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know it was actually more of a Christian nation. Um, if you just go to like Trafalgar Square, I don't know how many people knew that, but this and because I just searched on Google online, right? Is that for churches in Trafalgar Square? There's so many churches with all this like architecture and stuff. This was really a Christian nation, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. I've lived here most of my life. I didn't know that. I didn't know how Christian this nation was before I came to Jesus. The Lord's also still helping me to see how much of a Christian nation that this was. It was a godly nation. I mean, there's a lot of like Catholicism, but like still like you know what I'm saying, like Christian nation. You know what I'm saying? Actually, there was a time during like the Victorian era, right? Apparently, this is what I read by Charles Spurgeon is that there would be like these preacher camps, so like preaching, and what people would do, right, is that they would actually wake up early in the morning just to hear the preaching. That's what they did in the Victorian era in this country. And they'd get up really early just to hear the preaching of the gospel. So this is a very different time that we live in today. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they did it like to as training, so the preachers would get up earliest, and then they'd get up to preach the gospel like 5 in the morning, which is like whoa. They'd get up to preach at 5 in the morning. That's something else, man. But then people would also want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So I just learned that, and yeah, so that's cool. All right then, I think that's everything. Also, I thought this was a good joke though. It's quite funny. It's also encouraging. I want to be so full of Christ that if a mosquito bites me, it flies away singing, "There's power in the blood." All right. So, okay. Okay, I think that's everything I got about today. I don't know how well the Instagram could hear that. Um, just because I don't know, there's a lot of noise, background noise. Instagram's and then yeah, and then my iPad's here. Alrighty. Alright. I'll see you around. Alright. See ya. Peace.